Hi, this one's about introductions. The introduction prepares the audience for your argument, and it's a chance for you to develop your initial ethos. It's your chance to make your first impression to the reader or the listener. Now, a good introduction is going to anticipate your line of reasoning, the one that's developed in your body paragraphs and possibly rebuttals, and it's going to do it in such a way without coming off as repetitive when the audience or the reader actually gets to those body paragraphs. Now, how do you come up with introductions? Well, generally, it's one of those things that you only design and develop after you know what your body paragraphs are going to be dealing with. And a lot of the ammunition for your introduction is going to be developed in your planning when you're going through SCUMY or STID or any of the other topoi or loci that we've gone over. Now, academically speaking, you can look these terms up yourself, right, and get a better idea of how to develop introductions, but we're going to simplify these like ancient Roman style introductions, and we're going to make it really simple. Okay, but the key thing to take away from the slide is that you only create introductions after you know what you're going to introduce. Now, even though introductions are the first thing you write in an essay, it's actually the last thing you plan in the planning phase. Okay, that's a key thing to remember, and not doing that is going to make your introductions terrible. All right, so let's simplify all those academic terms that you saw on the last slide. There's really only three things you can do for your audience. You can prepare them, you can correct them, or you can interest them, right? Now, when you're preparing the audience, a lot of things that you can do in a preparatory introduction is you can give definitions that are really important. You can define your terms. You can give a statement of facts about all the things that are true today that are relevant to your claim, right? Or you could also talk about the major proponents of the issue, right? Of either side of the issue. So you could talk about this group here believes this group here believes this, and this group here believes this, but I believe this, right? Now, that's to prepare your audience. You could also correct them if you're dealing with a controversial topic where most lay people or most people who are uninformed don't understand the concept. You could talk about all the things that people misunderstand about the issue or what they often overlook or ignore. You can start there and then hit us with your thesis. And if you don't want to do that, you can just interest your audience by developing your personality and connection to the actual issue or topic. You can give a personal anecdote, right? Or maybe you could draw the audience in by placing them in a hypothetical situation, or you could mention contemporary issues or events that are happening right now that are related to the topic or issue that you're going to be discussing in your essay. Okay, so prepare, correct, or interest your audience in the introduction. Now let's take a look at an example. So here is a rough outline of what an essay is going to be about. These three green boxes are body paragraphs. The words in it are the basic claims that are going to be made in those body paragraphs. The line of reasoning is in the red box, and this social, mental, physical thing was the theory that helped develop the line of reasoning. Okay, so if we're looking at this in the planning and we know that our body paragraphs are going to look something like these green boxes here, and our line of reasoning is going to be based off of this red descriptor here, well, then we can prepare the audience, we can correct them, or we can interest them. So we're going to look at three examples. You're going to pause the video and read the examples as they pop up, and then you're going to try to see, are we preparing, are we correcting, or are we interesting, or are we making the audience more interested in the topic? So take a look at this first one here. Pause it, read it. Okay, hopefully you've identified that it's an interest example, because we're talking about contemporary events, the way things are. Let's take a look at this one. Read it, pause. Okay, hopefully you can see that it is a corrective. And then finally, you can pause and read. As you can see, we're providing definitions here, so it is a preparatory introduction. Okay, so that's our practice. The next one you're going to have to answer questions on. You could do it on a piece of paper, or if you're forced to watch this on Edpuzzle, then you can answer the questions on Edpuzzle. Okay, so here is another theoretical plan about three different body paragraphs for should we pay students for good grades. The gist of the body paragraphs are listed here in the green boxes. The line of reasoning is in the red box. Okay, now either write down what your guess is for 1, 2, and 3, because I'm going to show you 3 examples, or you can answer it in the Edpuzzle if I'm making you watch this on Edpuzzle. So here's the first one. Pause it, read it, and then identify. Okay, now here's the second one. Pause, read, and here is the third one. Pause, read. Okay, so you're going to turn that in either on a piece of paper or you're going to answer an ed puzzle, and let's keep going. So the important thing to remember about introductions is that they can prepare people, they can correct people, or they can interest people in your topic, and each path has its benefits depending on your line of reasoning. Remember, it's really based on what you're going to be talking about in your line of reasoning. And having a strong introduction communicates that you have a line of reasoning and a master plan for your essay, which helps you earn points in the overall score. Remember, the intro is the last thing you plan. It doesn't make sense for you to plan an introduction if you don't know what you're going to introduce. Okay? That's it for introductions. Take a look at all the other information I give you in class. High five for learning. Make good choices.